clock that ran backward and counted down to a disappearance. There are some things you just shouldn't buy at a yard sale. For Howard Griggs, that thing was an antique wooden clock with Roman numerals. He picked it up in 1996 while visiting a rural Vermont yard sale with his wife. He thought it would make a nice addition to his home, but once he got it home, he noticed that something was off. Not only did it tick unusually loud, the hands also moved backward. But he put these strange occurrences out of his mind and hung the clock on his mantelpiece above the fireplace. Then one night, he was awoken by what sounded like chimes. He got up, walked into the living room, and stared at the clock in disbelief. It had struck midnight, but instead of striking 12 times, it had struck 13. That's when the trouble started. Every night at midnight, the clock would strike 13 times, and the sound would be followed by an eerie silence. At first, Howard thought it was just a one-off. But as the weeks passed, it continued to chime 13 times every night. And that wasn't the only strange thing that started happening. All the electronics in the house began to glitch. His television would turn off in the middle of a program. Lights would flicker and the clock radio would start playing static. Then there were the times. Howard began to lose track of time. He'd get up in the morning and look at the clock to see that an hour had vanished. Sometimes 2 or 3 hours would be missing. It was like time itself was on fast forward. He also noticed his dog, Sparky, who was normally by his side at all times, had gone missing. But when he looked around, he couldn't find her anywhere. It was as if she had evaporated into thin air. Then there was the mirror in the bedroom. Every morning when Howard shaved, he'd catch a glimpse of himself in the mirror. But lately, he'd been seeing a distorted version of himself, as if the mirror was showing a memory of him from a different time. It was as if the mirror was trying to tell him something, but he couldn't quite decipher what it was trying to say. In a panic, he grabbed a pen and paper and started writing down everything that was happening. Every strange event, every missing hour, every eerie chime of the clock. But when he turned around, the paper was gone. And so was the pen. Had someone broken into his house? He checked the windows and the doors, but everything was locked, and there were no signs of forced entry. Then one morning, his neighbors reported his door wide open. They rushed to his house, but they couldn't find him anywhere. All of his clothes, his wallet, his ID, everything was left behind. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. The police found the clock still ticking on the mantelpiece. It still ran backward, and to this day it chimes 13 times at midnight.